Guys, when we say keep it in your pants, it basically means that you have a serious problem that you need to work on. Clearly, Spanish FA President Luis Rubiales did not get the memo after he couldn't contain himself following Spain's World Cup triumph over England in Down Under. What was supposed to be a turning point of the women's game in the country is now being made famous for a president forcing himself onto a player. It is just sad that people will remember Spain's win as the moment when Jenni Hermoso was kissed by Rubiales on the lips. She clearly felt uncomfortable and chose to maintain her composure in spite of this. But with millions of people watching, Rubiales was never going to get away with that. Following Rubiales' idiotic acts, there was widespread criticism. The prosecutor's office of the National Court received as many as 6 complaints, but waited for the player to lodge one before opening its investigation. A few days later, Hermoso released a statement where she told everyone how vulnerable she felt at the time and called the act sexist and one that had no consent on her part. If you ask us, this was indeed a moment of sheer idiocy from Luis Rubiales. I mean, it's not as if the #MeToo movement has not gained enough traction. Women are no longer scared of setting the record straight, and men are also being more respectful of the boundaries of the opposite sex. Plus, it does not suit someone in Rubiales' position to do something like that. Yes, he must have been over the moon to see Spain win the World Cup, but that doesn't mean he should have forgotten what basic human decency means. Following the uproar, many expected that Rubiales will resign from his position. However, he has been like that turd that doesn't go away, no matter how many times you flush it. The Spanish FA chief says that he is not going to step down and even accused Hermoso of lying about everything. In fact, the Spanish Football Federation released a statement where they tried to prove that there was all consent in the world from Hermoso, who rightly called the federation of having a manipulative, hostile and controlling culture. The fallout from this has seen 80 players from Spain announce that they will not represent the national team until the federation is under new management. National team coach Vilda was late to the party, waiting to condemn his boss, but once the pressure grew, he sided with the players. The men's national team coach, Luis de la Fuente, has also condemned the act, but if you ask us, it remains to be seen what actions will be taken. But we really don't want to go for a one-sided version of this story. Long before Hermoso filed a complaint, things were different and there was no anger on Hermoso's part either. On August 21st, Rubiales apologized for his actions but maintained that whatever he did was without any bad intentions. However, he did admit that he needed to understand that as a president, he needs to be more careful. And Hermoso, who gained all the sympathy from the world, had this to say: "It was a totally spontaneous mutual gesture because of the immense joy that winning a World Cup brings. The president and I have a great relationship. His behavior with all of us has been outstanding, and it was a natural gesture of affection and gratitude." After hearing these two statements, it is clear that Hermoso did not make a big deal out of it. However, the Spanish forward's reaction on social media was completely different because of her tone. It was of someone who did not like the act, so we're not really sure what to make of it. Of course, Rubiales' actions cannot be defended, but at the same time, Hermoso's initial statement makes us wonder what the hell happened after the initial statement. So maybe the Rubiales smoochiness issue was just the tip of the iceberg, or maybe was one final straw for the federation and how it generally deals with things. For this, we need to go all the way back to September 2022, because in that year, Spain's entire squad sent an email to the RFEF, where they said that they did not want to be considered for selection because of their emotional state. The exact nature of these complaints has never been made public, but according to Spanish media, players have been looking to have Vilda sacked. Interestingly, Vilda has been at this role since 2015. Those claims were later denied, but there were other issues at play. Vilda has been accused of acting like a dictator, and his training methods aren't appreciated. It has been reported that Vilda requires his players to keep their doors open before midnight, so that he can confirm whether they are sleeping on time or not. Okay, that is very weird, because grown people don't like to prove to other people whether they're sleeping or not. Vilda is reported of acting like a paranoid parent, always eager to know where his players are going out and what they're buying. It is quite surprising to see that despite of the mutiny in 2022, the players and the coaching staff still managed to go all the way in the World Cup. However, even if these issues were put to bed, Rubiales' acts have undone a lot of good work done by the national team. Okay, so now that we have pretty much all the facts with us, it remains to be seen what course of action the Spanish Football Federation will take. FIFA is already pushing to ban Rubiales for 15 years. This came after Spanish FA withdrew their initial support. That backing out happened only because FIFA threatened to ban the country's national teams and clubs from participating in international competitions. Otherwise, we're sure they would have still been staunchly supporting Rubiales. The Spanish FA has already asked Rubiales to step down from his role. One way or another, Rubiales is no longer at the Spanish FA, with Pedro Rocha coming in his place for the interim. One way or another, Spanish Football Federation will need to work really hard to restore their reputation. Based on the reports we have just discussed, there are lots of issues at play, and the end of Rubiales' tenure might not be enough to sort things out for the long haul. Not that we're calling for a purge on the Football Federation, but they have some serious fundamental issues there which really need some sorting out. If racism was not the only issue that the Spanish Federation has struggled to take care of, they now have to deal with a disgusting form of sexism that has no place in the modern world. Hopefully the stand taken by Hermoso and her teammates is going to change all that, because it is high time for the mentality at the Spanish Football Federation to change, and it all starts at the top. So guys, this was our take on the entire Rubiales and Hermoso issue. Let us know what you think would be the right decision here. Sound off in the comments and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Till next time.